Okay, we're gonna move on then. It's gonna be GXG versus FAV here. There's gonna be no camera for today because I had to move my whole setup and my camera just isn't fully set up yet. But for now, we're gonna be able to see Bomber and Puppeteer first pick here up against a Priestess, Mechanic, and First Officer ban. For survivors right now, we need a rescuer, but it seems like we're gonna go here with the Professor instead. Professor is a really interesting pick, especially when you're going up against that Hullabaloo as well. The Hullabaloo, the hula hoop. But with this in mind, sorry, we just have to ban one last rescuer here from Chikin's side. You could get rid of the mercenary, or if you want to, the possibility is still there for Gravekeeper, but mercenary probably would be the better. Okay, never mind, we're gonna ban Gravekeeper instead and forcing the mercenary out. I guess that's fair too. However, I guess the only biggest issue for GK is that, well, GK can't really drop down any items, so I guess the GK ban there was because of the movement speed boost. But with this in mind, right, it's quite a nice and tanky team. However, Professor is quite an interesting pick here when you're trying to go up against a Hullabaloo. With Chikin's side, it's going to be no doubt that it definitely will be Hula. And look, it's round one after all. There is really no surprises when it comes to teams like this too. So if we just move on forward here, that's going to be Chikin with the Hullabaloo. Persona wise, let's just hope that everyone brought knee-jerk reflex and flywheel, because that's kind of what you do need during the current day meta when Hullabaloo is very, very, very strong. But with area selection mode, here we go. It will be the Professor in middle, and Bomber here on towards the right hand side, being a mercenary at restaurant, and of course Namako as the puppeteer spawning by Umbrella Gate. For Chikin, we're going to be spawning by Tea House, it seems, this time. And with that, at least now we know that we can lock Mercenary and Namako in the same area, because that Cypher Machine Hotel will be locked, unless there's two Cyphers of course, but that's up to the Embalmer to tell his survivors too. Now, with that in mind, this will conclude the area selection mode. We'll move on straight towards the Persona points, in which it is Sighturner, knee-jerk reflex here on the Embalmer, just knee-jerk reflex on Puppeteer, Tightener on the Mercenary, and knee-jerk reflex flywheel on our Professor. It seems like Chikin is going to go instance alongside with full-on teleport just to try and counter that Embalmer as much as possible. But of course, this will be day 2, match 2. Game 1 first half between FAV versus GXG. Chikin playing that Hullabaloo up against the Professor will be the biggest highlight of this game. Okay then, so Tea House spawn, here we go, or you could call it Pharmacy, depending on what you like calling it the best. It does seem like we're going to go straight towards middle here, in which we do see where Nachi is rotating to. However, for Chikin, we might just try to rotate towards Embalmer. Once again, Persona points is Insolence. It seems like Insolence, Max Palette Breaking, Rage, alongside with, I'm quite sure that is Mischievous, or is it Nostalgic? It's one of the two, and then just Wanted Order as well. For now, we're looking at where Mime is. Mime here becoming the first chase with knee-jerk reflex. However, the biggest issue now is it's only one ball that's landed, because on the staircases it's really hard for Hullabaloo to actually land his pallets with the double surprise. For now, it's just going to be a mud ball here that is applied, as we're trying to take a knee-jerk reflex from the window as well. However, white ball will be able to be applied there thankfully, and Embalmer would be taking the first here pretty soon as well. With this in mind, Embalmer still trying to make the run for it. We do have teleport here still, so we cannot forget. However, this is Hullabaloo that we're talking about at the end of the day, so that will be a down 64 seconds in towards the game. Quite hard here to actually play around, because now the Cypher machines are only barely at 50%, and I do see why we want to choose out Embalmer first as well. It's just in case of a first chase like this. However, Mercenary is the one that's going to come into rescue here, but Mercy will be highlighted with Wanted Order, so that's really unfortunate from GXG's side. We did use our red zone to try and, let's say, okay, that's no damage rescue, that's good, but we did try to use the red zone to cancel that elbow pad. However, the elbow has already come out immediately, so it doesn't really matter there anymore. We're going to still try to chase after Mercenary here for as long as we can. We just want to get that double down here, it seems, and possibly speaking, what we want to do here is when Mercenary goes down, what we'll do is we'll just see if Wanted Order goes on Embalmer here or not, because that's the only chance that Chikin has if he wants to find this Embalmer. For Mercenary, you could potentially speaking sell him, because Embalmer can just leech on towards the Merc. However, the Terror Shock there will be given. It doesn't really matter too much. We're now back to square zero for Chikin. As of now, wanted order is on the professor as Nachi's on his way in towards the rescue here. However, he will be forced out in exchange because look, you're not really going to rescue against a Hullabaloo, especially when both of your presents are gone. So that's our biggest issue here. What Professor can do is Professor wants to come into rescue and Chikin wants to make sure that this is after half rescue, and that's definitely what he's going to be able to get here. However, Professor has to be very careful to not be forced to rescue here as the puppeteer will also become another target that's right in front of us. We're going to be able to pop open that 100. No, we're not. We're going to start open a completely new cipher machine. But for Nachi here, we did manage to find, not to find, but to land a mud ball. We do have fireball and snowball left on our hands to use, but double surprise will be ready pretty soon as well. We finally landed. Oh, okay, you can cancel the hit like that, Professor. Damn, I didn't know about that. Damn, that is possible. Okay, so I guess you can't stun the Hullabaloo when you get damaged, but you can at least block it like Flywheel. That is pretty good. And the shell shock lasts for quite a while as well. So that's something new for everyone who wants to maybe, you know, not ban Hullabaloo. You can play Professor as well. However, it is still a 75-second cooldown instead of 45 seconds, so there's that too, I would say. Right now, there's currently 2 survivors at half health, 1 Embalmer that's currently outside, and another Professor that is at half health because of the rescue. However, it seems like Namako will become the immediate next chase as Puppeteer is trying to make the rush for it. We should be able to get a double hit here. We did. That's a mud ball. That's a snowball and the red ball, and that is a beautiful timing there from Puppeteer. Our second double surprise is not ready just yet. However, that's going to be a mobile landed there immediately, and we're barely able to dodge it as well. And during the time where we did not, and we're not able to use, we were able to use our items as immediate pop out just so we can prevent as much as the worst, honestly. With this in mind, that's going to be a Terror Shock down for the Embalmer. However, Embalmer can self-heal. We just do not have borrow time remaining. Preferably speaking, the longer we can stall, the better it is. Cipher Machine should be primed here, as Nachi should be the one that finishes off his Cipher Machine first. So what we want to focus on here is Professor pops open his Cipher Machine, and then if Embalmer is not next chase, then we can just wait for Nachi to... Oh no, we need to pop immediately. Yeah, no one's borrowed time except for Poetier, I just realized. So with that in mind, guess what? The good news here is that our Professor does have items to use. However, we did want to get a drop down here. Can we use our items? It seems like we want to get towards the corner here as much as we can, and that's not honestly such a bad plan after all. That's going to be Shell Shock number 1, Shell Shock number 2. That's a very nice dodge there from the items, and now Professor will be going down. However, being able to tie up against Chikin's Hullabaloo is, honestly speaking, really impressive from an amateur's team side. So with this, let's congratulate the tie game here between the two teams. We'll move on straight towards second. Okay, second half isn't going to be any more different here. It's going to be Kotami coming out from GXG. We're going to be able to see Mechanic and Priestess first 2 bans, with Acrobat and Puppeteer going in towards the first 2 picks. First Officer will be banned next. So from the Survivor side, you could choose Gravekeeper, you could choose Mercenary. But if you choose, well, you do have to choose a Rescuer right now, or else Kotami will just ban the remaining of your Rescuers too. So with this as well, right, for Neriusu here, we could go the standard the standard Gravekeeper or the standard Mercenary, whatever you like the best. Wildling is more of a base pick here, because like the moment Wildling gets on towards the board and you're still in a red zone up against a Wildling, you can't get off, and that's really what we're worried about. So Wildling can definitely never be chosen for round 1 unless you know that it's not a Hullabaloo. But even so, for Kotami herself right now, the last one has to be Aeroplane Spy Investigator. Those are our 2 options. We're gonna go Cordy. Okay, Cordy works as well, I guess. But from the Survivor side, you do still have quite a lot to work with. Seer has not been banned, so Seer will be chosen out instead. Seer has a lot of potential when it comes to tie kiting against Dash Hullabaloo, but I guess double surprise is an issue as well, because you do need to look in front of you just so you can dodge, you know, the zones, and you need to look behind you as well to see where Hullabaloo is and to farm those owls as well. For now, we're going to be able to see our mini switcheroo as Kotami here. Well, I do think, right, unless it is not a Hullabaloo, like round 1 in all regions now are Hullabaloo, no more, no less. Right, unless they want to choose Goatman instead, in which that's what we're going to see here from GXG side. I do hope that we see some type of change here between the well, not change, but I hope that Kotami can surprise us here, because Aka has done really well in Lakeside Village. However, this is still Chinatown after all, and there is a seer nearby alongside Wish Dash Puppeteer, so it is still something to be worried about. But Goman coming out is always something new that we would like to see. Move on straight towards area selection mode we go. From a survivor side, probably just let GK stay in the middle and then Seer. You can't really spawn Seer inside. Well, to be honest, the only biggest issue is that if you decide to spawn on your survivors outside of the goat containment areas, they will be locked away from it. And I do think Goman's a character that can definitely do that as well. So I feel like for maybe Kotami early game, it will be a 15 meter radius range of the cage, just so you can catch up towards that Seer as well. So because of this, FAV is going to change up the spawn locations here just by a tiny bit. Seer would be able to rotate quite a bit as well because of the long walls. However, Kotami is going to spawn by pharmacy here, or tea house, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You know, you can leave it down below to tell me what it's called. I call it tea house because, well, no, I call it pharmacy because I think in Chinese there's like herbs there. So maybe it could be tea as well. But oh well. Moving on straight towards the game though. Let's go on towards the persona traits. It will be a double tie turner here on Puppeteer and Gravekeeper, excuse me, and of course Acrobat with knee-jerk reflex alongside with Seer with fly with knee-jerk reflex. Kotami running trump card detention alongside with blink. It will be game 1 second half between GXG versus FAV for day 2, and it's going to be in Chinatown. Okay, with that in mind, Kotami, where are we going to go for first? We're looking at where the Acrobat is here, it seems, and Acrobat does also know that there is this survivor nearby. However, with this Apai here were we able to get over? We were able to get over here. So Apai now currently still hold on to his ball. That's honestly really good news, because this simply just means that we can play around for quite a bit of time. We're gonna be able to okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. The cage did last pretty long there, 10 seconds. It will be reduced to 9 seconds after the next nerf. But for now, Appa is doing really well with the containment and trying to pull away some distance from the hunter. However, with the owl coming out there, should be able to buy us just quite a bit more time as the cage will dissipate. Right now, we're holding on towards our next ball here, so we should be able to jump up immediately. But sadly, we weren't able to land any debuffs on that Goatman. Right now we're going to be able to get a jump down. Oh, we aren't. We are able to get a jump down, but it's just that we did get stuck, and Blink will be forced out here in exchange too. That does seem like right now, right, Goatman's resentment does charge up pretty fast, especially during that 10-second when the cage is up too. So I feel like probably from the Goatman's next nerf will be we reduce resentments we reduce resentment's charge time once again. We'll probably have to reduce it just by a tiny bit more, but Dacho will be the one that goes in towards rescue here. Dacho, we're going to be able to break the cage because there's no point in you going straight towards the other side, and that will be a decent enough rescue, especially against the Goatman too. For now, Appa is still trying to continue here for as long as we can. We do only have one cage here left to use, but we are out of range. So for Kotami here, not the best course of action, honestly. But body block is also very feasible from Gravekeeper's point of view, since right now that's going to be a 1 normal hit, so that's okay. It's okay for Kotami as well, but it's just that the cage is a tiny bit slower compared to usual, and you just don't want to hit the wrong survivor for the cage to reset. But right now, Gravekeeper did not get a body block. That's really unfortunate. That is really unfortunate, and his second shovel will be fully consumed in this case. 2 Cypher machines remaining. Kotami has still a really good chance of tying. However, it does seem like we want to get as much here as possible. The cage lasts 10 seconds, so that hit will register on towards Puppeteer, which is really unfortunate. We do still have one more resentment stack remaining. Felix doesn't really have tie turner anymore. We're going to be able to go straight towards the other side there. A little bit unfortunate that Puppeteer wasn't able to body block or prevent the Goatman from taking the cage teleport. And right now it's around 2.5 Cypher machines done. This will be a tie game guaranteed, of course, but can Kotami win is also another question on hand. It might just be a tiny bit too hard because our teleport isn't ready. Well, we didn't really trump card change the teleport. Our blink isn't ready just yet. We probably want to save blink for endgame. However, from FAV's side, we aren't doing too bad too. We're going to be able to loop straight towards the other side here as Puppeteer is still trying to contain Puppeteer. You're able to use one more of your items, and that's what we're looking for here too. I mean, because of Puppeteer's existence, there's really no need to play Perfumer anymore too. But we're going to be able to double back here. And right now, Puppeteer, that will be an instant, well, not an instant, but we contain for more than long enough. CSI for Machine here at 95%. Well, no, CSI for Machine is done because it's Statue who's playing Gravekeeper here, decoding the last cipher. However, we still do have to be very careful because 15 meter radius cage is enough to actually lock us here together. So, hello, my friend, how are you doing today? Are we going to be able to perform the rescue? We aren't. And Kotami will be able to take that down. So for FAV's survivor side, this is really, really bad. Kotami, we're not able to get anything there. That's a little bit unfortunate. However, that will be a good fight will there used. Nice body block there. No, not body block. Nice base there, let's say, from Nerisu. But that's still Puppeteer going down, and we weren't able to react on time too. Seer Owl regen is at 50%. That's kind of why we say that Seer is really good against Goatman if Seer is the first chase. However, in this case scenario, he is a rescue instead. Nacho here, not sure whether you should. Not sure that you. We're still playing around, but I'm well, that's a Goatman dead on the ground. No, not Goatman. Sorry, that's a Gravekeeper on the ground. I mean, Gravekeeper is basically digging his own tomb. So, there's that. With that in mind, you'll come down 6 feet under alongside with me. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much, but you are coming down 6 feet under with me. Kotami guaranteed a 4-man elimination here. That's really good. However, because there's no self-heal left on Gravekeeper, we will just speed things up just to show that this is a guaranteed 4-man elimination. Because sometimes there's always a chance that they're able to get a 4-man escape. But it seems like it's 4-man elimination for now. Question mark. Alright, this is lagging on me for some reason. Please! Okay, there's an Nerisu. We have so much items left, doesn't really matter. Goodbye, good night, hello. Okay, let's move on to a second half.